Continuing our candidate profiles for the upcoming municipal election, Adam Bass spoke with candidate Barry Bergman, who is hoping to take over the Ward 6 City Councilor seat from incumbent City Councilor Brenda Noel.
Running for public office for the first time can be a daunting task. But for Barry Bergman, he is excited at the prospect. Bergman is a Newton resident running for the Ward 6 City Council, which is currently held by Councilor Brenda Noel. Bergman says the reason that he is running is in response to Newton's housing situation.
Developers tear down modest homes and replace them with huge multi-million-dollar McMansions, and those are like shoehorned into the small lots that we have in Ward 6. And and on top of that, I've watched some of our city councilors, including my opponent, say that if we get rid of single-family zoning, we'll have affordable housing, and that just isn't true. There's no real way that you can buy $1 million house, tear it down, and replace it with two homes that are less than $1 million. The math just doesn't add up. It's wrong.
Before moving to Newton, Bergman grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. He graduated from Boston University with an MBA in taxation and has worked in accounting. It is through his work that he presents his belief in fiscal responsibility, which he says the city needs more of.
I'm an accountant by background, and I spent 20 years working with the PeopleSoft program, and maybe I'm used to the capabilities that are there, but I've been working with companies that really want to know, well, how much are they spending on this project? How much are they spending on that? I just asked recently to find out, well, we have this big zoning redesign initiative. It's a 10-year initiative. How much money is being spent on that? And well, that number isn't available. A lot of it is because employees, they don't have to break out their time to allocate it to whatever, it's a particular project. But I think in order to make really good decisions, you have to know how your money is being spent, which initiatives are working, which ones are not, and then you have to really get into the detail.
But Bergman isn't just a candidate focused on spending. He is also a candidate focused on the environment. Bergman notes that there has been an increase of deforestation due to the building of new housing. His solution? Planting more trees in denser areas.
The funny thing is we have this stuff in our zoning laws already today. That there's supposed to be one tree for every 10 parking places in a parking lot. So, now I've been told, been asking around, he says, well, sometimes that's not really enforced with some of the developments that go in. Well, first of all, we need to enforce that. But secondly, if you go to those same zoning ordinances, they say that the city's exempt from that. They don't have to put a tree for every 10 parking spaces. So in the center of Newton, we have one big urban heat island, the big triangle parking lot that people say, oh, that's so ugly. Wouldn't it be great if we could set up a couple of little berms in that and actually meet the zoning regulation and put some trees there and make it more inviting? I think it's that type of thing that we have to do. And even when we do our infrastructure projects, so Bellows Pond, for example, the two contractors that were initially answered the RFP, I guess, we're really making plans to replace that 350-year-old dam with a new dam, with whatever construction you expect to see in a new dam. And it took the Bellows Pond Association to come up and say, wait a minute, we can do something that will preserve the greenery, preserve the trees, and still accomplish what has to get accomplished.
Even though it's his first run at public office, Bergman is enjoying the experience, and he believes that the community has some of the best ideas that need to be heard.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. And I'm making tons of mistakes, but I'm learning a lot as I'm going. And you know what's really great is that I've met so many interesting people. It's just amazing hearing the feedback from people as I go around. And a lot of it's very encouraging. And people are saying, yes, I agree with you. And they start finishing my sentences because they feel the same frustrations I'm feeling. So that's what I'm excited about is, you know, and if any say I want to boost, I go walk around, knock on some doors, and I feel much better at the end of the day.
Adam Bass, Newton News, Newton Center.